Okay, we discussed what is kernel and how it works, what are the functionalities of the kernel. So now we are going to discuss about what will happen when the computer is loading. That means switching on. Okay, when we are power on the computer, what will happen? So OS is also software like any other, but uh, has to be loaded and run by operating system itself. Just see what it means. Operating system software also like a normal software, but it has to load it and run by operating system itself. Yeah, යාවම load කරලා run කරන්නත් වෙනවා. All the other programs run by the RAM and with the help of operating system. All the other softwares execute with the help of operating system and the RAM. So when we take the OS has to be execute itself. Yeah, අනිත් run කරන එක එයා run වෙනකොට මොකද එයාම run කරගන්න වෙනවනේ while it is booting up. So that's what I mean. So operating system is also a software like any other software, but it has to be loaded and run by the operating system itself. The process is initialize the computer and loading the operating system is known as bootstrapping or booting the system. So the machine is booting up with the help of firmware. When a power switching on, it is starting, then the operating system is going to start up. So starting operating system we call as bootstrapping. Firmware is switching on. After that, firmware hand it over to the operating system. Okay, when you power on the machine, firmwares are there, that is manufacturer data, Intel information or HP information. Then after that, you will see the Windows logo. That means the Windows logo means bootstrapping. That means boot up setup. So the bootstrapping program normally exits in a non-volatile memory and is executed automatically when the machine is switching on. The operating system software kernel copies into random access memory, usually from the hard disk during the boot up. So as I said earlier, random kernel is copied the random access memory from the hard disk. So once loaded, the operating system wait for event occur. So when it is switched on, it is waiting until user give the events. So whether go move the start or open the PowerPoint presentation or whatever, it's wait until user give any event or any input. Okay, so we call it, therefore we call it as event-driven software. So once the operating system waits for event occur, the user typing commands or process the event, whatever is wait until users respond. So we call it as an event-driven software. So at this moment also, kernel is waiting until I give some commands. Okay? It waits for commands. So therefore we call it's an event-driven software. What is operating system is a event-driven software. We can say it is an event-driven software. Okay. Then I just continue to explain, then you can write down. Okay, so load in the operating system. The kernel remains random access memory while the computer is switch on, and it is in charge of the overall operations of the computer system. So kernel is in charge of all the functionalities, operations of the computer system. Then kernel contains internal programs for the most often used operations like file management, memory management, security, device management. There are so mainly four functionalities. Okay, is this clear? This is what I explained. There, now you have to write these two slides. Okay, start writing this time. Okay, this should come previous one. Okay, now look at, so operating system, when we consider, there are, wait, actually this diagram should come for the beginning, never mind. Now we'll discuss that one. So when you consider operating system, just look at the utilities are there, then application softwares are communicating with the utilities, then utility programs are communicating with the devices. So both the side arrows are there. Okay. So application called to the utilities, then from the utilities it is called to the devices. Then the other hand, utilities communicate with the operating system. Or application softwares can directly communicate with the devices. Okay. So software components, we can take this part, then hardware components down part. So both the way, application softwares can communicate with the hardware devices, then utilities can call with the hardware devices. For each side, two-way arrows are there. You have to draw this one. Okay. Then I explain the other one as well. So different types of operating system we can take: Windows, Linux for personal usages, then Unix, then ZX or ZOS, then S390 virtual memory for the then mainframes, Macintosh, that means Mac OS, X server, Windows server, those are server operating systems. Then Symbian, then Android, embedded operating system used for the mobile phones. Just to know that there are more latest one. But since this part were there in the syllabus, I took the same thing. We will copy this one and the previous diagram. This one. Okay, start copying these two diagrams. Okay, evolution of operating system. In the beginning, there were no operating system in the machines. That means late 1940 and mid 1950, like that. Therefore, serial processing was there, processed program one after the other. That means single user system. Only single user could be able to access the computer program, and the user directly interact with the hardware devices. No operating system used, then program loaded directly to the computer. Machines run from console, displaying lights, toggles, switches. As I said, small switches we have to move here and there, then only it start function. When we consider about